after I did my ranking for season 1 of New Who, I sat back and thought, what else could I do? Because I won't lie, I had a good few weeks where I just had a blank spot. No idea what to do, no ideas, absolutely nothing. Had the Sarah Jane Adventures one, and then nothing. Which is why I took last week to kind of sit back and come up with a few things. And one of them already in the works, already started. Got another Let's Shit on the Right Wing show coming soon. This time with something a little bit different. So stay tuned for that. And then we've got videos like this one. And this small PSA at the beginning is literally just that small explanation. Because with it being summer, and me working in fast food, I'm very busy. So ideas aren't really coming to and fro. So with that out of the way, let's start off with a new series called The Best of Each. And let's start with the best story from each series of Doctor Who, in my personal opinion. So I'm only going to be doing Russell T Davies 1 for this list, starting from series 1, going to 2, 3 and 4. If this video gets enough traction, or I just think, hey, I don't know what to do, I'll just do the next few seasons, and the Moffat one's going to be a lot longer, and the Chibnall one's going to be a lot shorter. So, yeah, let's get on with it. Starting off with series 1. Now, I really had a tough time with this. There's a lot of good episodes in there and amazing stories. Like, I absolutely adore Father's Day, and I will defend Boomtown for as long as I live. But for me, The Empty Child / The Doctor Dances is a beautiful example of sci-fi horror. And if you've seen my ranking for season 1, then you'd know I love sci-fi horror, with 73 Yards being my top pick for the series. Stephen Moffat knows how to do horror. He just knows how to do Doctor Who horror. And his first story in Modern Who shows that beautifully. I mean, The Empty Child sets up the mystery of the story while instilling the fear of the child within the audience. It does that to an amazing degree, where you just feel uneasy for the entirety of the story. Even on rewatches, you feel incredibly uneasy. The second part pays it off well by showing how dangerous the child is, and the terror that child gives to every single character. But then this has got my favourite lines and performances from the Ninth Doctor. And who could ever forget?
Everybody lives, Rose. Just this once. Everybody lives!
It's absolutely fantastic. And then we've got series 2, and it's no secret that I am not a fan of Rose Tyler. Not a fan at all. I do not like the character. Full stop, period. Throw her in the trash. Series 2 works better without her. With that being said, there's one standout story in series 2 that makes me think, hey, Rose is actually quite decent there. And that's The Impossible Planet, and more specifically, The Satan Pit. This two-parter is absolutely beautiful, and the best series 2 came out with. The Base Under Siege story is a Base Under Siege story with a touch of modern slavery, and it ends up splitting up the Doctor and Rose for the entirety of the second part, and it shows Rose as a leader and her being a decent character for once. The reason I don't like Rose Tyler is because of that romance plot with the Doctor. The Doctor and romance just doesn't work for me, and I did mention this in my ranking of Rogue. I just don't like it. It just doesn't work for me. I just think it's cringy. And the first part does kind of settle onto the idea of that with a passing comment and some awkwardness, which works quite well. It does for that scene, for that few moments, it works amazingly. And then they split it up when Rose is forced to take action as a leader while the Doctor's fighting the Beast. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, the Impossible Planet works as amazing setup with the Beast and Toby. The death of Susie was something else as well, and then the possession of the base and the Ood. Wow, that there showed the Beast's all power. The Doctor couldn't defeat him without sacrificing himself and Rose and everyone else. He ended up sacrificing 50 Ood in order to save everything existence from the Beast. This story here for me is a perfect talk on religion. And it's obviously, again, no secret, I'm not a religious person. I just absolutely love this story, and anytime I go to rewatch Series 2 or any episode from Series 2, this is it. This is it. On the flip side, we've got Series 3. Martha and Ten work so much better than Rose and Ten, with the Doctor not reciprocating in those romantic feelings. It just, for me, leads and makes a lot better. It makes a lot more sense. And yeah, I just prefer it. So, with Martha having being the main role in this next story, for me it's fantastic. And of course that story is human nature / the family of blood. The best two-parter to come out of RTD's era. You can throw Stolen Earth and Journey's End away. This is better, in my opinion. That finale is beautiful, but it loses it in the second half, and that's why this is better, because it doesn't. And I know each story I've done so far is a two-parter, and that's because they are absolute gold in comparison to single-part stories. In Series 3, there were so many close calls, and I know a lot of you are going to be mad that my choice isn't Blink. But honestly, this is by far the best of Series 3. This story is so good, and I will defend it to the end of the world. I don't even need to defend it. That's how good it is. It does something similar to the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit, where the companion has to take front and centre, with Martha having to watch over John Smith, who's the Doctor. Having the Doctor and Martha is a very interesting... having the Doctor and Martha in hiding is a very interesting premise, and it's done to a degree where it just works. The setting's perfect, the time's perfect. Having the entire boarding school be a military school a year before World War One. Mwah! Chef's kiss. That built for amazing foreshadowing for those characters set in that time period for the Great War without them knowing. Part 1 was given the room to breathe and be a slow rise as the tension slowly climbs up until it comes to that absolute gold of a cliffhanger. I love it. I'll go back and I will not skip out on watching the second part, because I cannot after that cliffhanger. Having both Martha and the matron taken hostage, the two people closest to John Smith as the family tries to force the 10th Doctor out. It's beautiful. And on my desk, I always keep a fob watch, because it's the fob watch. Like, having the fob watch as well, amazing foreshadowing for the finale. Like, you had all of the setup for the finale ready and waiting to go. Paul Cornell, hats off to you. You did something beautiful, and you did it well. And then you get to the end of the second part, the fury of the Time Lord. Wow! Those punishments. Brutal. I mean, revisiting it in Doctor Who Lockdown, specifically the mirror one with the sister of mine. Wow. The family is such a devastating villain, only having a lifespan of a couple of months. And the Doctor made sure that they lived forever. The Doctor gave them what they wanted, but in the cruelest, heart-breaking way possible. What a fantastic story. And I will always claim this as the best of Series 3. And finally, another series which was incredibly difficult to do. For me, Series 4 is banger after 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 banger. The only time Series 4 falls short, for me, is when it hits the specials. Now, I wouldn't give it 10 out of 10. Nowhere near. Well, very near, but I won't give it 10 out of 10. The finale falls short. The Doctor's Daughter is meh. Well, it's actually really good, but it's not as good. The Unicorn and the Wasp, mwah, beautiful. Absolutely love it. Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead, gorgeous two-parter. Fires of Pompeii, absolute perfection. Turn Left, wow. But none of them hold up to Midnight. What else do I have to say? The story is my go-to rewatch for Series 4. I've said it before, I love Horror Who, and this story takes that concept to 11. Doctor Who, when done right, has amazing horror aspects, and in regards to this story, it does that beautifully. Having it set in one setting is perfect. It has all the characters in a claustrophobic state, which naturally would cause a massive rise in anxiety and fear, and the writing shows that beautifully. And if you want to add an entity that cannot exist, that also steals your voice and mimics everything you say, you have perfectly captivated this story. Now, I don't think the Midnight Entity would be nearly as scary if it didn't kill the driver and the junior mechanic right at the beginning, right after it came to a halt. We don't know why the whole machine came to a halt. Like, that vehicle should never stop. All of this entire story is absolutely fantastic. And to top it all off, the cherry on the top, the Doctor's best weapon, his voice, is taken from him. He is put in a position where it's impossible to win. And him being charismatic and mysterious and just taking charge ends up being his downfall, with all the side characters turned against him. And where was Donna? Donna was too busy. Donna was enjoying herself, relaxing. She wasn't there. Like, I've seen people say if Donna was there, they would have. She would have easily set them all straight, and this story wouldn't be anywhere near as good as it is without her. This is the perfect, because the Doctor spent the entire series with Donna. They had built that type of connection. They had built a friendship an absolute beautiful friendship, and without Donna there, the Doctor's on his own. This entire episode is executed beautifully. And then having a hostess without a name sacrificing herself because she identified that was the only way to win, while the Doctor was just stuck, possessed. No one knew her name. It's tragic. And it's beautiful. And with that is my list. A nice short video. Genuinely, I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. I just never thought, hey, when's the best time to do it? Turns out the best time to do it is when you remember you had the idea and you have no other idea of what to do. So, yeah. I have a lot of things coming. I have sat down, done lots of ideas, especially after the last video. Wow, that was a good one. I'm definitely going to be revisiting some of the spin-offs. The Sarah Jane Adventures is not the only one I want to talk about. What have I been waiting for? I really, really, really want to keep going. And videos like this, just small, funny Who videos, while we're waiting for Joy to the World and Season 2. Any other ideas for Doctor Who related content, shoot them my way. And there are a few things I do want to get done, and funny little moments. I do kind of want to start doing a few recreations as well. If you guys want to see stuff like that, then yeah, let me know. Seriously, any of your video ideas, leave them in the description. Join the in the description. No, leave them in the comments. In the Discord as well, there's an option for video ideas that's currently empty. And yeah. And finally, if you guys have any ideas for a Doctor Who story, different concepts, villains, something completely new, what would you, if you were put in charge of writing a Doctor Who episode, what would you do? Leave them in the comments. Let me know. Definitely not for a video. Thank you very much, guys, and that's all from me. And yeah, we'll see you next week for whatever the hell I have planned. And yeah, ciao for now.